Hi everyone, welcome back to the AI language. So last time we have created a chat application using Vertex AI along with the data store, which is this one, Blood Donation Agent. And what we did was we went to Dialogflow CX console and we configured this agent settings over here. We basically defined a data store prompt which tells the agent what all it can actually answer from the data store. And apart from that, we in our agent flow we just have one page where we actually defined a no match default event handler. Whenever the user asks something that does not match what is in scope for the agent to check from the data store, we have a fallback where the agent responds with one of these responses. And apart from that, we actually went to the data store and we configured the agent to respond with the best possible response from this particular data store. And then we actually tested the agent and we found it to actually simulate the answers pretty well. So right now this is a pretty useful agent in the sense that it can actually query the data store and answer the questions that you ask from the data store. Now we want the agent to make an informed decision based on the context of the conversation. So what you're providing it with and based on the knowledge base. So what we will do is we will create a new page now in this particular flow, which is called an eligibility quiz. And the agent is going to offer you to help and answer whether you are eligible for blood donation or not. So this will be a dynamically done informed decision that the agent will make based on the context of the conversation that you're having with it and based on the knowledge base that you have provided it in terms of the blood donation information. So for this, what we'll do is we'll edit the data stores and we'll update the agent response to then offer you to take an eligibility quiz. So the agent will actually, whenever you ask a question, the agent will give you the answer and ask you whether you want to take an eligibility quiz to determine if you can actually donate blood or not, and which is this particular text over here. Now what happens is that whenever you respond with a yes or a no to this particular question, the agent needs to check it against an intent that we should have coded in to handle that particular response. So now we are going to create two intents. One we are going to call the confirmation yes intent, and the other one we're going to call confirmation no intent. Go to the manage tab for that and then select intents over here and click on create. So first we'll create the confirmation yes intent. We'll give some phrases to tell what we mean by confirmation.yes. So the user can say yes. So the user can say these phrases, I'm in, please go ahead, yep, yeah, yes. And all of this basically says that the intent should be matched to this particular intent, confirmation.yes. We click save. We create another intent. This is the confirmation.no intent, and again we'll add some training phases over here. So I've added some training phases over here like I'm out, not for me, nah, nope, no. So what this means is that these sentences would trigger this particular intent, and we click on save again. So now we have these two particular intents. Now we go back to the build tab and click on start, and then we create a new route. And for this particular route, we're basically going to select the confirmation.yes intent first. So what happens when the user says yes? This is what we're defining over here. And then we talk about a transition. So we want to transition to a page, and we haven't yet created that page. So what we'll do is we'll click on new page, and let's give the page a name of eligibility quiz. Let's click on save over here. So now what this does is that whenever the user says yes, I want to take the quiz, it will basically make them go on a route which will open a new page, which is the eligibility quiz page over here. And you can see that this particular quiz page has been added over here. Now when we add a page like this, the purpose of the page is basically to collect some information from the user into a parameter. So we click this page and we add a new parameter over here, and let's make this simple and ask only for the age and weight of the user in one go, and we'll use that to determine their eligibility for the blood donation. Let's call this age weight. Let's select the type as sys.any, which means it can be any entity type over here, and let's keep this required over here. And in the initial prompt fulfillment, which basically means that what is the agent response for the end user when initially attempting to collect this parameter, which the agent will try on this page, we actually provide an option to the agent over here, which is what is your age and weight. So this is what the agent is going to ask the user when they land on this particular page to collect this particular form parameter. Now we click on save. Alright, so now we have configured the agent on the eligibility quiz page to ask for the age and weight from the user, right? Now we need to create a generator that is actually going to check whether the age and weight is actually eligible or not. So we go to the manage tab and click on generators and click on create new over here, and we give it a prompt. So we have given a prompt to the generator which basically says that the minimum age is 18 and the maximum age is 75 and the weight should be above 50 kgs, and we have given the user age and weight which is the last utterance. This is a special parameter which basically says that whatever the user has mentioned in the last text that the user has sent, which is the last user utterance, and use that to send it to the generator, and the generator will now be able to satisfactorily answer whether or not the user is eligible for donating blood. We leave everything else the same and we click on save. Now we go to the build tab and we go to the eligibility quiz, and what we have now is a page where we ask the user for their age and weight. We get that and we have a generator defined that can actually use that response and satisfactorily answer whether the user is eligible or not. Now we'll configure it by adding a root that is basically triggered when a condition is satisfied, and this condition should represent the fact that all the parameters for the page have been provided by the user. That is, the user has provided their age and weight, which is a single parameter over here. We'll paste parameter page.params.status and we'll put the value as final. So now we have put the condition for this root to be triggered, and what we want for fulfillment is to trigger a generator, and we'll add a generator over here and we'll select the generator that we just created, which is the blood donation eligibility generator. And now we have the text prompt over here, and we'll provide an output parameter which should contain the result of this generator. Let's call it eligibility outcome, and now we'll provide this particular parameter as the output for the agent response as well. So basically we have configured this page to now have a parameter which is age-weight, and we have configured an initial fulfillment response to ask the user for this age and weight. Then we have created a generator that actually takes the last utterance of the user and asks the generator to check if that particular utterance satisfies the age and weight criteria. And then for the fulfillment of this page, we have added a condition that whenever all the parameters have been provided, it should trigger a generator for fulfillment and provide the result from the generator in the agent response over here. Now we have actually completed the setup of this agent. We can click on save over here and close this, and now we can test it all out. So let's test the agent now. Let's ask for a question from the data store. What is the age requirement to donate blood? So now the agent asks us that whether we want to take an eligibility quiz or not. So let's say yes. This will trigger the confirmation.yes intent. So it asks us for your age and weight. Let's say age 25, weight 75, and we get the positive response over here that we're actually eligible. Let's also test it for a negative response. So what's the age requirement to donate blood? Again, it gives us the option for eligibility quiz. Let's say yes. Let's say 49 weight and 25 age. And now we get a sorry response because we have not satisfied the weight requirement. The minimum weight requirement is 50 kg and your weight is 49 kg, and this is the generator which is basically checking for us this particular parameter for age and weight against the criteria that we have provided it. So this completes the agent setup for us. What we have done is we have created a chat app over here which has a data store which you can actually query. You can ask questions for that, and the agent offers us to take an eligibility quiz, and if we say yes, it triggers the quiz over here, and then it asks us a question. It uses a generator to actually check that response from us for our age and weight against the criteria, and then decide for us whether we are eligible or not. So that's an informed decision that it takes based on the context of the conversation that we've given and the knowledge base, and then it basically answers whether we are eligible to donate blood or not. That's all for this setup series. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll do more complicated setups for real life examples as we go along. This was the example from Google which we took up to understand the basics of building a chat conversation app and using the Dialogflow CX console to build a few pages for one single flow, and use a data store to answer questions and use generators to take an informed decision over here. Thanks a lot for watching.